Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast, your front row seat to the world of whiskey and bourbon. In every episode, we're pouring up something worth talking about. From small batch standouts to big label legends, we sip, review, and break it all down one pour at a time. We'll talk tasting notes, share stories, give the occasional review on real-life experiences, and every now and then, bring in a special guest from the industry to share a pour and a conversation. This podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, Edward Jones, Chris Ridgett, Aged Wisdom, Bold Strategies, Fallen Brothers, Crafted Spirits, Crafted in Honor, Shared in Remembrance, Maui's Liquor, Pouring Paradise one bottle at a time, the Barrel Room Bourbon Club at Maui's Liquor, United by the Pour, Good News Brewing Company, where everyone loves good news, and Grillo's Chop and Barrel, where fine whiskey meets fine meat. This episode is also brought to you by Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, Missouri, where premium cigars meet an unforgettable atmosphere. Whether you're celebrating a big moment or winding down from a long week, Lit is your sanctuary for top-shelf relaxation. Inhale excellence. Embrace sophistication. Visit Lit Cigar Lounge and elevate your next experience. So pull up a chair and have a pour as we dive into this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast. This pour of the Barrel Room is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor, Chris Ridgett. Just like a well-aged whiskey, a solid financial plan takes time, patience, and the right guidance. Whether you're investing for the future or planning your next big barrel pick, Chris is here to help you build a strategy that fits your goals and your lifestyle. So let's raise a glass to smart decisions and visit edwardjones.com/Chris Ridgett to get started. And now let's welcome our hosts, Brian Bisking and Kenny Gales.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Barrel Room Podcast. Co-host Brian Bisking here alongside co-host Kenny Gales. Remember to like, share, and follow our posts. You'll be entered into the November blind bottle raffle for this podcast. Shout out to our October winner, Keith Collier, and Bill Russell and Tom Whitehill, who are in that drawing. So make sure to like, share, and follow. As you can see, we have another special guest on today. Actually, two special guests, I should say. We have Shane and Jen from the Cigar Vault out here in Pacific, Missouri. Excited to have them on, and welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I was just telling Shane and Kenny when we pulled up, I actually have a client literally right around the corner from here. And I come down here to take him to lunch all the time at that little place right across the street here.
Yep.
Look, was that old bank or something? Brick building?
The brew house?
Yes.
Yes.
It was the
It was actually a building from the they took when they dismantled the 1904 World's Fair, they bought basically all the parts and pieces of the building.
So that building was downtown and they took it apart and reassembled it out here.
So a lot of the pieces inside of it, a lot of the wood, everything in there all came from somewhere from the 19...
That's really cool. I did not know that at all.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
got like 3 floors to the building. It gets pretty fun when you go into the... There's some creative stuff up there.
I'm sure.
But yeah, so they've got an event room on the second floor, and then offices. But then it gets like they have all these unique, ornate presidential pictures, and then over time they take a turn. So there's a fantastic one of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress.
Oh. Actually, I've seen that painting somewhere online.
Yeah, they have a huge one in there, and then it's just,
Well, I got good food.
Yeah, that's consistent.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, why don't we start? I always kind of start in the beginning. Talk to us about Cigar Vault, where the idea came from, how long you've been around, just the history behind it.
We opened 3 years ago last month.
Congratulations!
Thank you. We opened on a whim. We had a buddy.
we do everything on a whim. We usually don't know that we're going to do it until
That's
doing
my
it.
wife. It sounds about right for me too.
That's Kenny Gills.
Yeah. We had a guy that was in charge of solar at the landing hub, and
There's a boutique hotel down the street.
he decided that, hey, there needs to be a cigar bourbon bar out in this area because it'd be cool. Well, fast forward, we live right out the back door. We saw this building was for sale. We bought the building, and then his wife got pregnant, and he's like, man, I just can't do it. And I was like, well,
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
And we always, whenever we go to a new town, we'll always find a cigar bar because It's the one place, like, you go to a restaurant, the waitresses are like running you in and out. Bars, everybody's running you in and out. But like a cigar bar, people just sit around. You find out where to go eat, where not to go eat.
I mean, it literally takes you an hour plus to smoke a cigar and relax. And we wanted something not only in this town, but for ourselves, where we love to entertain, we love people, where we can just go and relax.
And we like connecting people. And it's amazing how much business is done between those two doors.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, one person walks in, like we have one couple, and they do all of our shirts and hats and everything. Well, I think now they're doing shirts and hats for half the town because they're sitting in here, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy that does our hat, and oh, okay, hey, can you do these? And
Well, that's cool though.
Well, it's the same thing. Like I was just telling him, like, well, Shane came in and he's like, hey, are you going to be at AU on Thursday? You know, and Adventure Unknown's a club down in Fenton, which is, if you guys are members there, right?
Yep.
You want to kind of explain what they do a little bit?
So Adventure Known is it's a country club without a golf course or swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to see first-handedly on Thursday, but we've got about 85 members.
it's a place for entrepreneurs. Like we go in there, and if we're like, you know, the hotel's slow this month, what's going on? Well, you just had one of our friends go in and like a customer, but it's all entrepreneurs and people that think outside the box. And so if we have a problem, we can go in there, and within a half hour, somebody's like, oh yeah, you should do this.
I mean, there's bankers, attorneys, entrepreneurs. Just it's like-minded individuals that typically like to travel. We've got individual offices. We have conference rooms. We just put in a cold plunge hot tub workout facility. We have a cigar lounge there.
A sauna.
Yeah. We have 24-hour access.
And potentially a future Barrel Room Bourbon Club.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because, so I don't know Scott Schuessler very well. I know when he started that place, so he reached out to us, I don't know, a couple months ago. No, right before he went to, where the heck did he go hunting at?
He's always
big game hunting somewhere.
Something was
New Zealand,
huge.
I don't know, South Africa. He's been
right before
all over the world.
right before he reached out to us, he was literally leaving for that trip. So whatever, 3 or 4 weeks ago, about potentially doing a whiskey club there as well. So we've been in conversations with him, and also that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, great spot.
Yep.
I can remember when that place was literally being painted, and he had like 5 or 6 members, and to see where that has gone is incredible.
Yep. We're also investors there.
Oh,
and
nice.
We have been there from day one. So
That's awesome.
I will tell people all the time that ask me about Adventure Unknown, it will single-handedly be the best investment I've ever made in not only people but time. It's just good people that want to help people.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, and I know they're trying to get one out closer to our neck of the woods as well, out in the St. Charles County area. So
Yep.
hopefully they can make that happen.
Well, cool. So I know they have memberships, obviously. So now, do you want to kind of explain your membership program here and what that all entails? And...
We have a membership program, and when we started it, we really kind of pushed it. But you know, so we've got where you can come in at $75 a month, and you get a featured cigar every month. You get a discount, Cigar Vault hat. Then we've got like a gold membership where it's a little bit more. But now you and another person can come in. You know, you still get your cigar of the month. But when we do have events that, you know, we're worried about seating, or we have something special where it's a ticketed event, members are automatically included in that. And then we've got, what is it? I think, $125, and that one gets you and, you know, so you pay $125 a month, and every time you come in, you and 4 of your friends get 10% off.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in once a month, or you come in like some people that we have 3 times a week that just come in and sit here with their laptops and work during the day, you know, it kind of just pays for itself.
All we don't have yet is lockers. We're just so limited. We're just under 1,500 square feet, and we just don't have room for lockers. I'm looking into some options, but
But a lot of people like it just because they can come here by themselves. And if it's a Friday night and you show up by yourself, you're going to have your 25 new best friends. It's just, and we get a lot of non-smokers that come here. I mean, there's times where Shane will walk in the back door and there's more women in here than men.
That's awesome.
Half are smoking, half are not. But it's an environment where we have 3 women that work here, 2 of which are teachers. And so if you come in by yourself and you just want to get a drink and visit with some people that, you know,
right.
And it's just that environment where you could, you know, come in every day or come in once a month, and it doesn't matter. You're still as welcome as you always are.
And that's pretty much the same vibe we're trying to do with our social locker club that we're getting ready to launch on November 23rd in Cottleville. So we're looking forward to that as well. But
Awesome.
Oh, I did see that the other day.
yeah, you're welcome, guys. Welcome to join.
All
So
right.
it's from 2 to 6 on November 23rd. So in Cottleville at Maui's Liquor. Now I know we were talking some history of some buildings. Do you guys want to kind of go over the history of this building? Because I know there's a lot here. Last time you guys had me out for an event, which thank you for inviting us and letting us do that. You kind of explain what this building used to be and some of the cool attributes to it.
So this building was built in, let's see, the house was 1880, so this is 1890. It was the first bank in Pacific.
Oh, really?
Where we're currently setting would have been the outside of the building
Yeah, 'cause
because
this is
it
an exterior
originally,
wall.
like
So the
that
windows-
used to be like the kitchen
Oh,
window
got it.
that looked out, and that was the back door.
Huh.
So this is after, I don't know when.
Yeah,
but it was
years
added.
and years,
Yeah.
and everybody, when you're up in the front, you can really see the tin ceiling and the skylight. It's kind of just a wow. We don't have that ceiling back here because in 1891, there was 1889 was this. Then 1890, a fire came through the town and basically destroyed everything on
Up to this building.
and this is
But not
so
this
above that is all the fire damage,
Sure.
Wow.
still. So it's just like to know that everything from here down is pretty much original. And this building, so much of it, we hated to have to cover up the original oyster tile and all of that fun stuff. But everything in here has been repurposed. All of
Yeah.
these windows came out of buildings in town. The doors came out of buildings in the town.
Even our chairs, when we opened up, we bought them
Yeah.
all on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever, and everything is.
And you wouldn't
Repurposed.
believe how many women were like, "Oh my gosh, my late husband would be so excited that his favorite leather chair is going into his cigar bar."
No, that's really cool. A lot of
It is
history.
cool.
It is. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
also
now I guess I get the idea from where your name came from. The vault is clearly
Yep.
part of the
So they-
bank,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's where our humidor is.
Yeah, the
in the
humidor
bank
is-
vault.
In the original bank vault.
Oh wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I didn't even well, I came in and started setting up. I didn't get to really see a whole lot, but
Yeah.
that's really neat.
Yep.
I love that.
So we did it with passion. We did it with love. Everything has a meaning. Jen is the decorator, and last year we actually won. There's an organization we're involved in. It's the largest cigar organization in the world, called PCA, the Premium Cigar Association. We actually won the Best of Leaf, the best cigar bar in the Midwest last year.
Nice.
wow, that's cool.
So
Congratulations.
that was cool.
Super
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I do want to point out, and I know you put a lot of sweat equity into it. He told me about it last time, but it's not really. You can't really notice it when you first come in here because it's down under behind some stools and underneath a bar.
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to kind of talk about what?
Yeah, so if you come in and it's slow, you can kind of see it. It was, poor playing on my fault part, but I love doing tile mosaic. And our neighbor, he worked at a tile place, and he was just dumbfounded that they threw away all the samples. So I started acquiring all the samples. I originally was like, ooh, I could do this on the floor, and that was just insane. And so the front of the bar, it kind of wraps around and tells just a little bit of a different story. It starts over near the humidor. It's a little bit more of a 20s Art Deco look. And then when you come around to the front of the bar, there's a gigantic cigar.
Mhm.
And then it wraps around and it finishes up with an oyster tile mosaic, which was just kind of because of all the oyster tile that we had to cover up because the floor was
Yeah.
ruined. So yeah, there's just one of those. And my favorite.
I thought it was super cool.
It is
'cause
cool.
I didn't notice it until you started pulling the chairs back a little bit and looking. He's like, "That's actually my wife put a cigar, integrated it into the bar on the
Yeah.
back side," and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!"
Every time somebody comes in here, they're like, "Holy shit, I didn't see that last time." So
And
there's
like in the
different things you
bathroom,
see.
when you're at the mirror and you look up, there's a bunch of gold fringe.
Uh-huh.
Well, years ago, the Fox redid all of their curtains. So that's actually the fringe from the Fox Theater's curtains.
Oh,
That's
And the bathroom, there's jewels buried into the epoxy. And my best friend had passed when my son was just a baby. And he left me all of, I can't even fill up this room, that much jewelry. And beads and different stuff because that's what I did. And so I did the epoxy because I quit making jewelry because every time I sold something that was his stuff, I was devastated because it was gone forever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, wait a second. I could just use it
Lay
in here
down,
to decorate,
epoxy it,
and now
it's there forever.
now everybody gets to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It is cool.
Well, I'll tell you, he was reached out to me about having you guys on the show. He talked about the bar and how you did that with the tile, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's live. And we'll
Yeah.
get a shot of that and throw it here in the podcast at some point. So,
Or you can just come and see us.
or you can just come and see us.
Definitely
Yeah,
come and see
We
them.
open
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday at noon until midnight-ish. Monday.
Depends how you're behaving.
Monday at 2. We're closed on Tuesdays just because of maintenance.
We will
and
be
just
open
stuff.
next Tuesday. I think we're going to do from
For Veterans Day.
like 1 to 6 for Veterans Day with some
Yep.
specials.
That's
and then
awesome.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we open at 2 also. So.
Well, I kind of laughed when you said till midnight or so because you, when I got here, Shane took me out the back door and said, "That's my house," which is a bless and a cursing, and I'm like, "Yeah, I could see that for sure."
Yep.
It's handy because during the holiday, like Labor Day, Memorial Day, we're
Mhm.
closed. I'll put a note on the door. If you're suffering from a cigar emergency, text me.
Yeah.
Because most of our bartenders, everybody's around. So if somebody's like, "Oh, I was going fishing all day. I just need some cigars," we can just run over and
That's
bring
cool.
them out really quick.
How many people live in Pacific? You guys have any idea?
Oh,
Because
well,
that's a little bit smaller of a town, but
2,000 of them are actually not ours. They belong to St. Louis County for the prison, but because that's specific.
So 5,000-6,000.
oh, it's bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that prison's pretty big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a state? Is it state or federal?
I believe
State,
it's
I think.
state.
Yeah.
State, yeah.
Yep.
I just, like I said, remember coming out to see my client and driving past that and be like, "Oh, wow, the place is big."
Yep.
But yeah, really cool. So we're going to sample some of, sounds like Fallen Brothers whiskey, but talk to me a little bit about how you obviously had the vision. You started, I guess 3 years ago, October.
Mhm.
What's the journey been like over that last 3 years? I mean, obviously you've probably grown, you've learned new things about being a business owner.
We opened up with 6, maybe 7 bourbons and 5 or 6 beers. Great Eagle was the first.
Nobody would call us
Distributor.
back. We're
Nobody
like,
calls back. It was
we just went bourbon.
Right now
Wow.
we utilize.
That's how it works.
Yeah, we utilize 7 or 8 different distributors right now, and we're up to 120 bourbons. Really getting into some phenomenal tequilas, vodka, gin, all handcrafted cocktails. As far as cigars, we try to carry, and Jen can add on to the cigars because actually she does the cigar ordering. But we carry some of the Perdomo, Fuente, the Rocky Patel, the name brand. But Rocky Patel has, for instance, 900 different SKUs for different cigars.
Holy cow.
So
when somebody comes in and is like, "I'd like a vintage 1990 Perfecto, blah, 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 blah," I'm like, "We have this."
Yeah.
Because you
Right,
can
you can't have
can
them
go
all.
online all day long, and for people that belong to whether it's Cigars Internationals or usmoke.com, whatever, and they can go on there and they get their monthly bundle for however much. But the people that come, like we have Carl, and he's probably got 500 cigars in his personal humidor.
Holy crap.
He still comes in here because he wants something that he doesn't have.
Sure.
And
it's just like whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just like collecting
100%,
whiskey.
yeah, so we
And
get
it sounds like there's, well, I don't know how many whiskeys are out there, but it sounds like there's
There's
probably
a lot.
way more cigars than there is whiskey. I would have to assume. I mean, if one
Yeah.
brand has 900,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
But
So-
yeah, it's just been an ongoing
Yeah,
learning.
we just continue to pour our profits into our investment.
That's awesome.
We haven't taken a paycheck yet because that's how you get to 120 bourbons. We've had Whistle Pig, Boss Hog.
Hog.
We've got number 12 right now. We just got in stock. Just picking up your guys' line.
Yep.
It's an investment.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely appreciate that. And
Yeah.
It was one of the things that when I first walked in, when you guys had me out for the tasting, was I was actually impressed at the amount of variety you had and a lot of the higher end allocated stuff that you don't get at a lot of bars and stuff like that, which attracts people, and also like me in particular because I've had a lot of whiskey, so I like when I see that kind of stuff. And
that's Shane fighting tooth and nail and nagging and why.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. When Buffalo Trace was allocated, and they're not really anymore. And why are they not allocated? Because they
have
from another
tons of
vendor
it.
because they're tariffs and they're not selling to Canada anymore. That's what I heard. So therefore, it opened up all over.
And you can find them in every street corner now.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
would give me
insane
one
to
bottle every couple months, and I'm just so pissed off. Like I can't get Weller's or Blanton's, Pappy. We're two small potatoes, but that's fine. We have much better,
But then when people come in and they see something like this that they've never had, like the fact that we had our Saturday night Craft Imperial event, which was a lot of bourbon guys. We busted those bottles out because we were trying to be good and hang on to them for the podcast.
Right.
But they were blown away because you get the bourbon cowboy, something that he's never seen before. He's like, whoa, wait a second.
Kid in a candy store.
And I'll also tell you, Kenny knows it obviously way better than I do, but learning the inner workings of how the whiskey industry works, and how Fallon Brothers can get access to barrels that a lot of other people can't even get barrels to. It's almost shocking that people are so accustomed just to grab the Blanton's or the Weller or whatever and pay $300 and $400 when I will put his whiskey up against any of those. And if you put a blindfold on somebody, I guarantee you they pick his whiskey over those. But it's just like the name, the brand recognition. And when you really find people who, like you're talking about some of your clients, that really enjoy the juice more than they don't give a crap about what the name is on the bottle.
Yep.
That's when you're like, it's almost like the whole industry is almost kind of a gimmick at some point.
Remembrance. Each bottle of our handcrafted whiskey tells a story of bravery, of brotherhood, of lives lived in service. And with every pour, you're giving back. Because a portion of every bottle goes directly to organizations supporting the families of fallen first responders right here in our area. To the ones who answered the call, to the ones who still do, and to those we'll never forget, fallen brothers, crafted spirits. Raise one. Remember them. Available now. Drink with honor. Support with heart.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is with cigars, is you get somebody in and they want a cigar. And we've got some great staff. I mean, Bill will tell you there's no bad cigar.
I will disagree with him on that.
Yes.
But then, like we've got John, and then he really helps us. He's helping me to broaden into more. I mean, his knowledge of cigars is insanity. But somebody can come in that wants this cigar.
I mean,
and
he eats, sleeps, and shits cigars, this dude. And then Leo is a cigar sommelier, so between the two of them, somebody will call, email, text, whatever, and say, hey, do you have blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, nope. John, what do they want? Nick, nope, that's okay, but they need to have the Espinosa, another one that we carry that's as good or better. So
I was not really big into cigars until really we started this business, frankly. And then it's like, well, whiskey and cigars just go hand in hand, right?
Right.
And I'm still trying to learn like what I like. And it's been a challenge because you mentioned Cigars International. You can go on there and like type in kind of the flavor you're looking for or what you're trying to get, and they'll list the descriptions of all these cigars, and you get them, and it's like, that doesn't taste anything like what you just told me.
And Jen's got a great analogy to follow up with that. Yep.
So Luciano was here one night, and I was kind of nagging him because I'm like, can I get a little bit of flavor profile on these boxes? Because we do have some bartenders that are not big cigar smokers, so it would just be helpful to like, hey, we've got these, but they can see what's in them. And he goes, it wouldn't matter. And I go, what do you mean? And he said, the best time to smoke a cigar is in the morning because you have little to no acidity in your mouth. And he asked, have you ever had a cigar and you loved it, and then you bought that cigar, thank you, and had it again, and you're like, that was not as good. He goes, did you take aspirin? Did you take your heartburn medication? Did you have coffee? Are you drinking a soda instead? He's like, what did you eat today? He's like, all of the different things change the acidity in your mouth. And that's where all your taste buds are. So that's, we're like, and many people will tell you.
Are you dehydrated? Just all this.
Dehydration is the number one reason why cigars don't taste good. The more water you drink in a day, the better your cigars will taste.
That's nuts. I mean, that's just like, to me, I'm thinking, well, that cigar.
Whiskey, cigar, steak, just.
Well, no, I just mean like, to your point, all those things can change the flavor profile. And in my head, just like a whiskey, like I may hate one, but he may love it because our palate is different,
Yeah.
right?
But then take a bite of chocolate, and then try
True.
that whiskey, or have that cigar with a piece of dark chocolate
I didn't even
with
think
it.
about all
Well,
that.
and also it depends on your diet too. Like for instance, like there's a lot of women that have really good noses because they cook a lot, so they use a lot of different spices with baking or whatever you have it, and they can pick up notes that some of us can't. Like if you got a bland like chicken and rice diet, it's gonna be tough for you to pick up certain things. But then you'll
Or
have
if you're eating Taco Bell all day.
yeah, any of those kind of things. So that's why people can have different palates and different noses and all that kind of stuff as well. So
Yep.
That's really interesting, though.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, we thought we knew about that much when we opened,
Yeah.
and then we realized that we really knew about that much.
I
Now we're
I
back
still
to-
want to know about this
now
much.
but it is, and we've been
always learning,
St.
right?
Louis is actually, if you've never like looked to see how many cigar lounges, shops, whatever have you, are in the state of Missouri, you could go on your own bourbon trail, cigar trail in Missouri, and take
Sure.
an entire week. And the people at Stanley's, when we met with Patrick right before we were getting ready to open, he flat out said, if you have trouble getting any cigars and you want something, come to me, I'll order them for you. And the amount of just camaraderie between the businesses.
Most.
Well, that's good.
Well, most.
Yeah, there's
Um,
a couple
but-
oddballs out there. But
right.
you know,
That's
we've got
everything.
Oh,
a
yeah.
great
Yeah.
great picture from the opening night down at PCA, and it was what, Bill from Bootleggers, Patrick, and someone from Stanley's. We had Tran
From the Hill Cigar.
from the Hill, and
Oh, yeah,
we're
I know
all
him.
in this
Yep.
big picture of like this St. Louis cigar community together.
Yep.
He's got a friend that's got a place in Springfield. We've got another friend that's getting ready to open up a place, so we're trying
in
to
Wright City.
Yeah.
Yep.
and get him in touch with other, you know.
Didn't you just invite somebody to come on the show that just opened a cigar lounge in like Troy or somewhere?
898, I think.
898?
In
Oh, in Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. Yep.
Oh, is that where they're at?
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know where they were at. I
Yep.
just
But-
Another one
but
just
they'll-
popped up.
You know, like when you go in Bootleggers in Washington, you go to their humidor, there's a gigantic deer or moose of sorts. It's wearing a Cigar Vault hat. You know, Bill was
That's
out here
awesome.
the
That
other
is
night for our event,
Mhm.
and last year when he had the exact same event, we were out there for his. He sends people all the time. Oh, I don't
I
carry.
mean, it's a small family, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
bourbon
have
is
real
much
hot.
bigger, but
Well,
cigars
he's
in
taught
itself.
me that
I mean,
more than anything, and I tell people all the time. Everybody knows the quote. It's people helping people, but the moment he told that to me, I was like, holy shit! All my lights came on. I'm like, Jesus,
well, the
I
way-
should have been saying that from day one. But
the
it's
way
truly
I
what
look
it
at it
is.
is like, so, you know,
I didn't ask which one this was.
Yeah, so real quick, this is our Red Poppy Rye Whiskey. So I started off with the rye. It's our lowest proof point that we have currently. It's 108 proof. So everything we do is single barrel at cask strength. Right now, uncut, unfiltered. This one in particular was to honor the men and women who served our country. And we give 10% off every bottle of backstoppers off this release right here. So
So every time we buy a bottle, we're
Yep.
given.
yes, correct.
That's correct.
Yep. And that was one of the reasons like I wanted to have you on there, and I spoke to Brian. I was like, you know, the compassion and empathy they have for charitable organizations, Cigar Vault, is the reason we need to have them on, because they align with the mission and value that I have, and also our bourbon club. And so that was a big part of why, you know, we're doing this today. So
Well, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, we look at, or I told you the story earlier
Mhm.
about our Civil War veteran working
Yeah.
here.
what
Um, We're in the process right now. We've raised all of the money. We're building the Jeff White Memorial Skate Park. Jeff
Yeah.
and Paula will actually are popping in here
Yes.
shortly, but they lost their son in Afghanistan, and I mean, tremendous family. She was obviously a father, mother, just lost one son, had two, you know, teenage sons to try to raise. And instead of just getting lost in despair, they
Yeah.
took it. And not only are we getting a skate park for our town, but they're going to continue the fundraising. We've got skateboards that we're selling. There's 100 of them. I've got one back there. It's pretty cool. But everything now goes towards a scholarship fund to help kids that you know, want to go to trade schools. You know, just continuing to give back, and that's what opening this bar has really opened my eyes to how many people are out there that have something to offer.
Well, that goes hand in hand with what I was going to say, which is, he talks about me saying people helping people. I've been in sales my entire life. And, my first sales job, I was working at a little bank, and then I went to ADP and started selling for them, and I was knocking on doors and cold calling, and, it burns you out quick, really freaking quick. And so I had a mentor that I kind of looked up to that was like, just stop cold calling, stop knocking on doors, just go out and meet with people and find ways you can help them. And so I used to have, no joke, 6 and 7 coffee meetings a day lined up. And the first thing I would say to somebody is, how can I help you? What can I do? Who are you looking to meet? And I would just start, at the end of every day, I would send probably 50 emails connecting those people to each other.
Love it.
And then what happened 2 years later, I haven't made a cold call in 10 years, right?
That's crazy.
Business
That's
just
awesome.
comes
Yeah.
to me because I've always been with the mindset of, if I help you, someday you're going to turn around and help me.
Yeah.
And so, even in the whiskey business, right? Like, our new Barrel Room Bourbon Club is inside, in the behind of Maui's Liquor. But we still support Grillo's Shop and Barrel. We still support,
Right.
because at the end of the day, the more we can support each other, the better it is for all of us in the industry.
Yep.
So let's not, even though there's been times that we didn't want to support somebody because of whatever,
Yeah.
happened, it's like, never burn a bridge. Always be out there helping everybody.
Yep.
Until somebody really stabs you in the back, and then don't dog them. Just stop doing
Don't
business
help
with them.
Remove them
Yeah.
from your life.
I
Exactly.
had
Yep.
a young lady,
Yep.
the third ADP this week. So we were at a conference and I saw a ADP booth and I'm like, oh, I know who they are. Then I get a phone call the other day and this girl was so sweet, but you could tell she was definitely very green. And I said, stop calling people. And she's like, excuse me? I said, call the Pacific Chamber. Speak with Debbie. Pay whatever your annual thing is. I go, you're not going to get people in this town to stop everything they're doing and talk to you. I said, but come to the luncheons. Meet the people. Stop in at the bar. Talk to the owners. Get to know people, because then, and she was like, so I should just send her an email? I said, yes. I was like, because nobody else is going to answer your phone call.
Well,
That's the fucking show me state, right?
Yeah. And I will say, even to this day, networking, when I was younger, I'm almost 40 now. When I was younger, I was thinking networking was, okay, I need to be in a room full of business owners so I can network with them and get their business. No, I'd much rather be in a room with a bunch of salespeople, networking with them because they have clients who will introduce me to their clients and I can introduce them to my clients. And it just makes a full circle, right?
Yep.
It's just, the problem is ADP doesn't teach you that. ADP teaches you get on the phone, pound the phone to make 200 calls a day.
She
Right,
was
right.
following her script.
Yep. And I, thankfully I now work for an organization that understands that. And
What's that? There's like a book or something, the Go Giver.
Go
Yeah.
Giver, yep.
And it's just,
That's how BNI was basically BNI started from that book.
yeah.
That's how BNI was built, was the Go Giver mentality of always give, give, give.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you'll know, you don't ever have to worry about business coming in. And, thankfully I'm now at that point in my career, but, it wasn't without trial and tribulation. It
Sure.
wasn't without, figuring out, well, there's a lot easier way to do this, and that's just being a true, compassionate human that does the right thing no matter what, and it comes back to pay you threefold.
100%. So anyway, should we move on to the next whiskey? Or
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
So that was 8-year
That was
955 rye. It's
that
one
was
of-
the one that I liked because it has a little bit of burn on the
Yes.
inside.
It's one of my favorites of all time, but I'm a rye guy, so.
Well, I will say, if you've watched this podcast over the last year, I was on this barrel pick, and I hated it to the point where of the 5
Yeah.
or 6 we tried, I was like, that's the worst of all of them. And Kenny's like, I don't care, I'm buying it anyway. And I'm like, but I just sipped that, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
As you said in the very beginning, I'll come around to Rise, and I'm starting to get
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and that's how we ended up. Was I tried one and I was like, oh, I like that. Okay, we'll get that one. And then I tried them all, and I was like, damn it, I like
But
them.
again, you put this rye up against, I would put this rye up against any brand name rye out there, and there will be people that will pick this over
Yeah.
the highest rated rye that costs $600 Boss Hog, for prime example, it's a $640 bottle.
Yep.
Not cheap. I've had it. It's not worth $640. It's a good rye, don't get me wrong, but and then you can have one of these at, I don't know what it sells for,
That's $95.
$95, and it's like that's just as good, if not better.
Yep. And that's part of what we do is we give a portion of everything. Everything we do, we give a portion back. So unfortunately, sometimes our bottles have to be a little higher
Sure.
than others. But even at a cask strength single barrel, $95 isn't
No.
for that bottle. That's a good price. So in my opinion, but some of these other bottles, like the one we're doing now, this next one, which is 8-year, 8-month bottle.
Hey, that's my label. Corey and I sat
Yes.
here and drew that label
Yes,
on
so-
a
Did you?
cocktail napkin
Yeah.
up.
Wait, is
'Cause-
that how you guys met? Was through Corey?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
put two and
he's
two
like,
together.
yeah, this is going to be my label. And I'm like, Corey, everybody knows what the arch is. That doesn't
Mhm.
tell a story. And he's like, what? I'm like, you need to get the Eads Bridge and like a picture coming into St. Louis with
Mhm.
people working. And he's like, all right,
The
let's do this.
stones. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
so we're
on the
just
landing.
sitting there at the bar on this little cocktail napkin drawing it all
That's
out.
hilarious.
But ironically, it was the one that I loved, and it has like such a vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's very.
I
good.
call it like my banana bread sweetness.
Mhm.
It does have a little bit of like banana bread, vanilla
Well,
caramel.
We did this barrel pick at the St. Louis Bourbon Society downtown St. Charles, and Corey was there. So was Officer Nate Speece and another gentleman from the St. Louis Police Department. I can't remember his name. Was it
Colin Ledbetter.
Colin
Yep.
Ledbetter?
He's no longer with the police now. He's now doing podcasting, some marketing. So I believe at AU, right?
Mhm.
Is that
Yep.
where his office is?
Yeah,
I think so. Yep.
Yep. But that was a hard pick because there was, there's probably 10 people there.
Yeah, about 10 or 11 people. Yeah.
And what was comical about it, and probably the next bottle we'll try, is the Brother in Arms, which is Nathan Speece's bottle. Corey and Nathan at the end swapped which bottle they wanted. So like Corey's like, "Yep, this is the one I want," and then Nathan Speece is like, "Yep, this is the one I like," and then everybody voted on it. And then he got to the end, they're like, "Nah, we're switching." So just talking about palettes and
Yeah.
how
Yep.
things change, it's just comical. But
No, that's cool. So I obviously you have some sentimental value to this one as well. So on like she's talking about, well, a lot of our single barrels we do challenge coins on, and so you were part of the creation of this challenge coin. Like you said, it has the arch, the East Bridge, and it also has 3 workers doing it, basically rebuilding the city brick by brick. So $5,000 off this release went back to, I guess it's Chasing Dreams is where it's going back to. But we linked up with Corey and you, and Corey owns Punchline Productions, which is a marketing company, and he's also linked up with several different charities, I believe. It's always something.
he's always helping
He's
with
all
something.
over the
He's-
place, so he's
he's
always
connected
helping.
to just about everybody you can think
He's
of.
become a very close friend of ours. Yes.
So anyway, it was an honor to do this with him when he asked me to do it. So that's why we did it. And like I said, $5,000 went back to help rebuild St. Louis. So it's 115 proof. It's an 8-year, 8-month Kentucky straight bourbon.
So I gotta ask you like saw you take a puff of cigar. So you also smoke cigars?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have similar palates when it comes to cigars, or do you like something different than she likes?
I mean, if we don't like it,
Yes and no. I mean, again, it just goes back to what you've done, what you've had, what you like.
I know that if it's an Espinosa, with the exception of like one cigar, I'm going to love it.
Mhm.
If it's a Rojas, I'm going to love it. It gets difficult when somebody sends us a package, and I'm not going to say whose it was, but we got a package, and luckily John was here, Shane and I were here. We lit one. I'm like, no. And then John and I have the exact same flavor profile, and John's like, oh God, no. Well, Shane's kind of like our Mikey likes it, so we're like,
I
here,
don't
Shane.
have the palate like other
He's
people.
like, here,
I'm
and
just
he's
like,
like,
I either
oh.
like it or I don't.
That's not good
I
at
don't
all.
think I do with cigars.
That's me.
Yeah.
And we went through like 6 cigars out of that bag, and John just looked at me. He goes, "It's safe to say we're not bringing these on us."
Well, I just had a cigar the other night that, like a gentleman told me that the tip is soaked in something, just the
Oh,
tip. If it's
the-
not infused.
It was that I have a turquoise
Yes.
green label, so that would be the Nova. It's at the bar. It's referred to as sugar tits, but
I like the name.
I named it Sugar Tits, but it's
Yes.
called Sweet Tip
it's
Robusto by
a
Nova.
sweet tip robusto by Nova. But we had it started with he kept calling it sweet tits. I'm like, stop calling it that because I'm going to start calling it that. Well, then Jarrell walks in one day. He's like, I need to grab a couple of them sugar tits for the road. And I was like, okay, now we officially, I will get like 70-year-old women come in, and I'm supposed to grab 6 sugar tits for my husband. And I'm like, Okay.
Well,
That's
so
the name.
I like a cigar
That's
with
fun, though.
just a hint of sweet,
Mm-hmm.
but not like like acid makes some
Right.
cigars that are just like
Nobody
way
has been
too
able
much.
to recreate the Nova Sweet Tip. It's just
And I was like, this was like the perfect cigar because it had just a little bit of sweetness on the very front.
Yep.
And then you got the full body. Well, it wasn't really full. It's not a full body cigar, is
it's
it?
a Connecticut,
so it's lighter.
but that so when you first have it, it's almost like you had a big glass of sweet tea.
Yes.
And then the sweetness goes away, but it
Does.
stays in your mouth, but then it just goes into this really smooth cigar. And
yeah, it was
the
a
woman
great cigar.
that Leo, that's the woman that owns and is the blender. She's about that tall and her hair's about that big, but she knows her cigars. And I walked past her booth. She goes, "Why didn't you stop?" And I was like, "I don't know. It just kind of looked like they were marketing towards women." And she's like, "Get in here and try a cigar." And I was like, she goes, "You're going to try this." I was like, "I don't like anything sweet." She goes, "You will like this." The next year, she's
will
literally
like
FaceTiming my daughter singing happy birthday on her
Oh, that's
birthday.
cool.
So it's just like one of those things. Well, now all of these other ones are starting to come out with sweet tips,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just not the same.
Yeah. Well, at least for me, I don't want it to be overpowering sweet. Like I've had some acids that I'm just like, I can't even smoke the thing, and I'm not knocking
Is it,
them. Certain people love them.
Black Betty, the other one.
Yeah, Fat Bottom Betty.
Fat Bottom Betty.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
funny
are
thing,
more
back-
higher end
But
acids, aren't they?
when we
Yeah.
opened, I was like, all right, we're not doing all these stupid cocktails. We are going to be single pours. We'll have vodka, we'll have tonic, we'll have gin, we'll have club soda, period. We are not making all this shit. And we're not carrying the acids. We're not carrying all this nonsense. Blah, 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 blah. Drew Estate is probably, Nova is our #1 best-selling single one cigar since we've opened our doors.
That's kind of
But Drew Estate, we blow Drew Estate out the door because people like them. And guess what? Now we're making espresso martinis and lemon drops and blossoms.
You
and-
got to say props to your bartenders. So if you guys do come here, he does make good cocktails. I know when we were here doing our event, my younger brother was here and he fell in love with a cocktail we made an event previous with our rye whiskey called a rye tie. So
Okay.
instead of adding rum to it, it's a Hawaiian drink. You do a luau in Hawaii. You've been to Hawaii multiple times. They use rum with it, but we recreated that here because we actually go to Hawaii quite a bit ourselves. And basically, instead of the rum, you just add whiskey to it. But he recreated that version that we made
It
at
was
our event.
Thursday. It was Craig?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and so kudos to him. Fantastic ride time. My brother loved it. So just
Nice.
another reason to come here and check out the cocktails. I know that you guys didn't start doing cocktails, but they have certainly started to perfect cocktails along the way just because of the people you hire. And,
What's funny about
and
that
teach,
is,
train.
so our bourbon club that's getting ready to open on the 23rd, we have a bunch of ambassadors that are going to basically work behind the bar for us, right? And they're like, well, we don't know how to make cocktails. I'm like, you got a phone, right?
We have 5 bartenders. Nobody was ever a bartender before.
When we
started
unlocked
here.
those doors, I looked at Bill and I was like, okay, are we ready? And Bill's like, guess so. And Bill and I had never been bartenders. And, like I said, I thought we were going to be single pours and this and that. The next thing you know, people come in, oh, Bill's not working. I like Bill's old fashioned. We all make the exact same old fashioned, but they like Bill's old fashioned.
What was his old-fashioned Boucher story?
Oh, that was his kind of interview. So Bill's retired, and his wife was like, he needs something to do. And I was like, Bill is not going to be a bartender.
He's a curmudgeony old man.
Yeah. And I tell you what, it started with Bill was always Pat's husband. Now Pat is Bill's wife. Everybody in this town is like, Bill's the greatest. So he's in one day. I had just sealed the top of the bar. And he came in the next day because he started popping in just as we were
When are
doing
we opening?
things.
When are we opening? When am I
And
starting
then
work?
the next thing you know, Bill's here every day. And he's wiping
We've
down.
got a friend like that, don't we?
He
Oh, yes,
was
we do.
wiping down the bar. And I was like, all right, Bill, you want to do this? He goes, yeah. And I said, I'll have an old fashioned. He goes, hang on, let me grab you a bush. And I was like, I don't want a bush. I want an old fashioned. And he's like, I know, but you're going to get a bush. And I was like, Bill, we have to do this right. He goes, fine. I'm going to give you a bush, but I'm going to charge you for an old fashioned. I said, you're hired.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And now he's making old.
And now he's, yeah.
Well,
You know that friend's not going to be happy unless you shout him out.
We're not going to shout him out. I don't want him to know who we're talking about.
I know. He'll know.
What's cool, like, I've never been a bartender in my day in my life. And,
But Google is a great bartender.
well, there's also
ChatGPT too.
my wife a couple years ago bought me this thing called, I think it's Barsys, Barsys. And this is like this platform that you sit a cup on, I should say. And it will, you have to use their cup, obviously, but it also connects to like a mixer. And then there's an app that says, okay, you want to make old fashioned, for example. It tells you what ingredients you need, and as soon as you start to pour it, the light turns red, and as soon as you have the specific amount of alcohol, it turns green, so you know to stop. And I started making drinks off that thing, and I was like, wow, this is genius.
I try to stay away from like AI as much as humanly possible, which now is impossible.
I was going to say, and it's only going to get worse.
Yep.
But like so many of the really fun cocktails, it's like 75 ingredients. I'm like, okay, when we are packed on a Friday, nobody's got time. But I went into, I will use the Google Gemini. And so I asked that one, okay, I have these ingredients. Give me 25 cocktails that I can make these ingredients. And poof.
Oh, yeah.
And that was incredible because now I'm not going and buying a $45 bottle to put a quarter of an ounce in a drink.
100%.
Yep.
I will tell you, I'm a huge user of ChatGPT. But I will say what's scary is at some point ChatGPT and all those AI is going to replace customer service.
Yes.
Like in a matter of...
It already has at the Landing Hub. We now have a Robibot that answers our phone, and she can take 200 calls a minute. And if you call and, hey, is it okay if I bring my pet squirrel for my stay? It will tell you. Dogs are allowed. In fact, the room that you have allows up to 2 large to medium dogs. However, we do not allow squirrels to stay at the Landing Hub. If you need to speak with someone for further assistance, please email. But it's, you know, I will say that has cut down probably 1 to 2 hours of my week of just silly emails.
100%. Yep. Not to mention, I mean, there's, going back to your ADP comments, there's companies out there that target me all the time that says, we'll book appointments for you. And their AI either sending emails or making cold calls, and to when they get somebody who's quote unquote interested, they just set a meeting on your calendar. Now, it's not cheap right now,
Sure,
but it'll get cheaper.
It will, absolutely.
And I was watching something the other night on Fox News, and the gentleman who was a financial guy on Fox News came on and said, we're in the middle of what was like, I'm going to screw this up, not the Cold War, but like the arms race of the time. We're in that right now with AI, and we have to beat China on that because AI is going to take over.
Yep.
And but it's almost scary too.
It
like,
is.
We've
all seen Terminator.
Well, I write health insurance as part of my kind of job. We already use AI to basically go out and look at every prescription drug utilization that employee has ever taken in their life to determine what the risk factor is for health insurance.
Wow.
And AI can do that now. It can literally, by your name and your date of birth, go look at what drugs you've taken. Now, I don't ever get access to that. I just get basically, hey, you can sell at this rate type of a thing. But it's just insane how AI is taking over.
And there's some things that, yes, the cocktails, it's helpful for. You know, I need simple, easy cocktails. Great. Our phone service, I'm just not ready to give that up yet. But you could technically, because there are people that just don't like to book things online. They want to book with a person, and we just have to not do that.
Yeah, but this lady, if it was...
If we allowed it, you could actually book your room.
Yeah, it'll take your credit card number, everything, and it'll actually book your room.
I'm just not ready for that yet.
Well, I will say, there's going to be a moment in time where we're all going to be like, AI has gotten out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Because, to your point, you can never replace like what we're doing right here, right? You can never replace the relationship you have with your clients. You're never going to be able to replace the vibe and the community feel that you bring to this place. It's never going to go away. AI is going to try, but it's never going to go away. And so, are the checkout counters at Walmart going to be affected? Of course. But are the people who are on the floor and stocking shelves and serving people? That's not going away.
No, I mean, so you've got the little robot that walks through, Schnucks, Tally.
I just saw that Toronto, Canada has just launched the very first street sweeper that sweeps the streets. Say that 5 times.
Yeah.
fast. And it looks like a Roomba, basically on but large scale, all AI.
Wow.
I go to Scottsdale, Arizona all the time. There are cars now instead of
yeah.
Uber.
It's
It's called
yeah.
like I don't even know
The
what it's called.
driverless cars.
they're
Yes.
all over the
Yeah.
airport. Like it's like you see a car moving, you're like, there's nobody in this.
Right.
Like,
Well,
oh,
and
We did that at the Tesla one.
Yeah.
We went through
That
the
just
Tesla
scares the
tunnel.
shit out of me.
no
But then I
thanks.
just saw the other day, like there's actual, remember the kid show Jetsons?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Now they got these freaking things that can, for like $28,000, you can buy a little thing that flies, and it's all AI. Like you sit in the pilot seat, but you just hit a GPS button and it drives you there, flies you there.
I'm just not ready for that.
I know, right?
I'm still a pen and paper person.
Yeah, right.
But
It just
I'm
is
getting
crazy.
better. I mean, there's certain things now. I will say, I'm getting like I'm looking to redecorate one of the rooms at the hotel. I want to make it more attractive to 13 to 30-year-olds. This is what I have. What can I do? And I'm getting ready to redecorate a room now because it pulled out. You should use this Sherwin-Williams color, and add simple accents as A, B, C, D. And I don't have to change any of my furniture. It simply went in and told me with what I have, what would work and how I could make easy, inexpensive. And I'm like, I mean, that would have.
It cuts out a lot of hours.
Yep.
And a lot of
It gives
extra
you
money
the time,
and-
though, to do things like
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Well,
Correct.
and this is the last one on AI. We'll move on, but even our podcast, when you listen to the very intro of this episode, that's all AI. I wrote a script. I have an AI voice that reads it out basically, because I don't want the intro to be me, or I don't want to be Kenny. I want it to be something different, unique that introduces the show, right? And you can pick Denzel Washington if you want.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I would go with Samuel L. Jackson. People would pay attention.
Oh yeah.
well, I've tried a few celebrities and it just doesn't.
And now there's
It just doesn't sound
I
right.
saw
I don't know how to
that
describe it.
some actress just patented her face and her voice.
Oh wow.
And they said that that's kind of the new thing that's going to happen is so I'm patenting my face and my voice. So nobody can take my face off of Facebook and use it for AI. And
Yes,
nobody
yes.
can take my voice and use it for AI. And if they do, it's a trademark violation.
It's nuts.
That's
That's
crazy.
nuts. What are we drinking here, Kenny?
Yeah. So this was our other barrel pick we did when we did the brick by brick
This
pick.
one's
This one's called Brothers in Arms. This one was picked by Officer Nate Speece. He had an unfortunate accident earlier this year where he got hit by a car on a high-speed chase as he had somebody pulled over on the side of the highway. I guess rewind a couple years prior to that, he actually got shot in the leg, and that same leg he lost this year. But anyway, he ended up losing his leg. We linked up with him as well to do this barrel pick and raise some money just to kind of help support him. Obviously, he's not going to be able to go back to the police force, so it was our honor to raise some funds and assist him any way we could. And it's called Brothers in Arms because Colin Ledbetter, I'm sure you guys know Colin. He's at AU, Adventure Unknown, and he was.
This is like the perfect blend of those two.
yes,
He's one of Nate's good friends, and he was a partner with him in the police force down in St. Louis City. So they want to do this pick together, and so that's why they call it Brothers in Arms. And you can see on the coin, they're back to back, kind of like Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
That's what that was kind of the idea with it, and then we just created the coin, and it's got the STL city patch on the arms and all that for where they worked. But anyway, this is 127 proof single barrel cask strength.
This has got a lot of vanilla on it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a lot. So
a lot of vanilla.
it's also got a nice nutty flavor to it. So I almost call it like vanilla into peanut brittle.
It's got like a finish, almost
yeah.
like a cherry or
Yes.
something
Mhm.
that when you're done drinking it.
We call that a stone fruit. It's a long story. I'll explain to you later.
Okay.
I'm
We've
not
always had
gonna-
a thing with the new terminology as far as describing notes that you get, and a new one in the industry has been stone fruit. It's been around for a little while, but it's come up recently a lot with a lot of different whiskeys, and stone fruit can be anything from a peach to a cherry.
Okay.
So I mean, those are drastic flavors. So I don't. It's just like a generic term, I guess, for
We don't like
fruit.
it.
I don't know. I
So
don't
we
like
make
to
fun
use
of
it because I like to
It's
be
like-
a little more descriptive. But
And see, and I don't
It's an
use
inside
all of
joke,
the proper bourbon
Well,
terms
it's like how
and
can
the
you
proper
have how can
cigar.
you have a word like stone fruit that literally ranges every fruit in the spectrum? You can just say
Yeah.
stone fruit on anything. It's like, well, what is it? What does that mean? Like, what's the
That's
flavor
it.
you're getting? It's
So
just,
isn't avocado a stone fruit?
I guess technically.
I think
Technically,
honestly, I think
probably
that's
right.
part of it, and that's why I had such a weird issue with it because I'm like, I can't call what I'm tasting a stone fruit to give somebody a descriptive word for what I'm tasting because that doesn't make sense. It's too drastic for me.
Right.
So if you just did like red fruit, that's fine because it could be raspberries, cherries, strawberries, and those are not similar. Some are bitter and some aren't, but still more along the line, easier to pick than just avocados, peaches, and cherries.
Right.
But anyway, this you guys probably don't know Zach Giese, but he loves this whiskey, promotes the crap out of it. He was on our barrel pick with us. He's a part of the St. Louis Bourbon Society, and he calls it like Stag Junior bottle essentially. So if you ever heard Stag Junior, this is what he kind of correlates this to.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said this is his whiskey of the year,
Ah, good to know.
and he's got a
And I've
fantastic
had
palate.
Blanton's. I've
Yes.
had plenty of.
Blanton's is so
These
overhyped.
are like the amount of flavor that spins around in your mouth after you're done drinking it compared to your commercial.
Thankfully, with us being craft and we align with, I think it's 7 distilleries now. I just added a couple more on, but we're able to kind of pick unicorn barrels. And a lot of these brands appreciate that we're more of a mission-based company. And even though we're mission-based, we try to, with me being there and palates like him and other guys that are on these picks, we get to pick out some really unique and awesome barrels. So that's kind of a fortunate thing with what we're doing. So that's why you're getting that. All these are drastically different flavor profiles.
Oh yeah.
Like the one that we have on the far right here, which is our release we just launched on October 30th. This was our Bourbon Club did the barrel pick, and it's 11-year double oaked. So we are getting some unique stuff and some older age statements that are freaking awesome in my
that
opinion.
bottle's killer.
And he actually created the graphic on the side, and you guys can look at it. But it's actually got like Michael Myers there with a fire truck in the background.
Oh yeah. I already looking at
It's
that.
called
Yep.
Fallen Oak because the oak tree fell down. It looks like the firefighters are kind of responding to a tree down, which we do a decent amount. The tree usually falls down, hits wires, and we go on a wires down call. So it's kind of for me, what I get out of that. And then you got kids trick or treating, but then you got this freaky character in the background over here, just like staring at you.
Lurking around.
Yeah, lurching around. And so I thought that was a really cool graphic he sent me and designed himself, and it worked out perfectly on that one. So, but anyway,
So let's circle back to Cigar Vault here before we end this show because we're getting close to time. Future events, future things you guys want to share, anything exciting you guys got coming up, whether it's socially or...
If you've got a need for a party, we're closed on Tuesdays, and we'll open.
But
if
this
need
time of
to,
the year,
but-
you get into holidays. If
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I want to have my company party here, we can bring in a bartender.
Yep.
We've also had people that have booked holiday events or, weddings, etc., over at the hotel, and then they're like.
Talk a little bit about the hotel because we've mentioned it multiple times
yeah.
throughout here.
Do you guys own
So we
that?
have a boutique hotel about a
Yeah.
half mile down the street.
Okay.
The landing hub.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard
It's-
the landing hub, but you
Well-
guys keep referring to it, and I'm like, are they? Because I didn't know you
I
guys.
picked
were
up on
actually-
that. I picked it that
I
they
did,
are-
but I didn't know.
So
for
regardless,
sure.
if you have an event there, we can always get somebody over there to have
Well,
cigars
tell
for
the
your
audience
event.
a little bit about the landing hub because I'm in Winsville. If I'm coming over here to have a cigar and a drink, I'm definitely not driving my ass back, right?
Right,
So talk
right.
a little bit about the landing hub and the uniqueness of it.
It's a transportation-themed boutique hotel. We are very kid and pet friendly, so we have concrete floors, contemporary industrial feel. But the unique thing about it is we have 15 rooms that we can sleep 80 people maximum.
So we have big
Everybody-
family suites.
Wow.
What?
We have big family suites that have kitchen, bathroom, laundry, and
I will tell you a must in my hotel bookings is my wife and I's bedroom has to be separate than one of my 3 and 4 year old laying.
See?
Or I'm not
you book
doing
a
this.
boxcar room. Now you've got your own separate room, and then they have like the industrial
I mean,
triple
I'll pay
bunks.
4 times. I don't care what the cost is.
Oh,
I just need
We look
some alone
forward to
time
you
with my
booking.
wife. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
we every day of the week we have a kid in our bed at some point throughout the night, right? And so when I'm on vacation, that door is locked. You figure it out, Baylor. You're 4 years old. Figure it out, girlfriend.
You've got this.
You got this.
We've got a
No, I'm
swimming
joking.
pool that we open early and it stays open late. We just closed it last week.
We've got a Bigfoot monster truck suite.
Yep.
We got
now
two,
you're talking my son's language.
2 Star Wars sleeping pod rooms.
Oh, that's cool.
We're getting ready, obviously, to do the
So next year's the
girly
100th year
room.
anniversary of Route 66. So
Oh,
we're going to
that's
do
right.
66 theme room. Yep.
That's awesome.
But the most unique thing about the hotel is you can book it for your party. So we only allow individual bookings 6 months in advance because we really push because we have our most success when people book the entire
Just-
hotel. It's like one large Airbnb.
Yep.
Bring your family
And
reunion,
if you've
your
got
wedding,
20
whatever.
or 40 or 80, a work party, you don't want your employees to drive home drunk.
Or
Yeah.
if you're Joe Maui and has like 80 in his family, he could book the whole thing for a whole weekend.
We
Right?
get family reunions all the time because there's plenty of things for everybody
awesome.
of all
Pool
ages.
table, ping pong table, 18-hole disc
18-hole
golf course.
A huge
Oh, wow.
chef kitchen,
That's
train
awesome.
tables, Lego tables, and the building was
Shit, now I want to go check it out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the next podcast we're doing it there.
Deal.
There you go.
Perfect.
that's cool.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, on behalf of Kenny and I, we really appreciate not only the opportunity to I will say, one of Kenny's first comments to me was, I did this tasting there, and then they literally bought every bottle I had to put on our shelves, which I think goes back to the very brief conversation we had about just people helping people, right? But just allowing us to come in here and record this episode and kind of share what you guys are doing here in Pacific. It's been really fun. It's been a really honor to meet you both. Excited for future endeavors that I'm sure that we'll find ways to work together and help each other out. So again, check them out, cigarvault.co. Follow them on Facebook, social media, anywhere you want. Also, Adventure Unknown, they're there as well, which we are going to be at, well, I guess it's this Thursday by the time this episode airs. It's already passed, so just forget what I just said, actually.
Yeah, right.
But in the
But-
meantime, go to landinghub.com and check it out.
There you
Yes,
go. There you go.
perfect.
And they have the event the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I will be on my way to Disney World. I don't know.
Ooh,
if
that's an
I
unfortunate.
was gonna say, I don't know
Ooh,
if that's
I'll trade spots with you.
unfortunate or
I'll take the
fortunate.
kids to Disney World. You do the Christmas party.
No, I love Disney World. My family does.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like, share, and follow this episode. Comment anything you can do to help get engagement up. Your name will be entered into the Blind Bottle of the Month. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors: Grills Chop and Barrel, Maui's Liquor, Edward Jones, Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, and the Barrel Room Bourbon Club. I don't think I'm missing anybody, am I?
No, I don't think so.
All right. We appreciate all the support of our sponsors give us that literally allows us to do this. We'll see you guys next time in 2 weeks on Friday.
Ciao.
Ciao.